Hi, today I'm introducing my upcoming 4-class series that I termed Meditate to Live Fully. It starts on this coming Saturday, February 24th at 9 a.m. Pacific time in the US. Okay, before we do anything else, I would like to share with you the 4 preparation steps I have for meditation, or in fact, anything that I do. That's ground, breathe, relax, and soften. So first of all, so pay attention to my voice. This is how I sound right now. Let's see if there's any change once I go through these 4 simple steps. So by ground, I mean wherever you're sitting, I presume you're sitting, just really notice where your weight is right now. Like for me, it's mostly on my bum and a little bit on my feet. I'm sitting on the edge of the couch. Yeah, so I'm really sinking into that foundation, that grounding, like my connection to earth. And psychologically, there's a benefit of noticing how I am supported. There's nothing I need to do. Anytime, anywhere, I just notice where my weight is supported. There's nothing I need to earn or do for it. Just simply sink into that support. So the second part is to breathe more consciously. And for me, I breathe into my perineum, on my base. So just taking in a deep breath, all the way down there, and let out a sigh, the sound of ah on the out breath. Ah. Let's do that again. Just really sinking into that grounding we already feel and relaxing into it. And relax. By relaxing, I start by scanning my body, especially at those places that most of us hold. For instance, our jaws. So we may want to stretch and yawn. Even a fake yawn is good to relax your jaws. A lot of us hold in there. And then check our shoulders, up and neck, like base of our neck and shoulders. Just shrug your shoulders. Just let it loose. The next place we generally hold is our central diaphragm. But because we are now breathing more consciously and more deeply, just let our central diaphragm relax. And next, our abdominal area. A lot of us, we don't even notice we're doing it. We hold our energy up from our base towards our solar plexus, our abdominal area. So just double check to see if you're doing that right now. Relaxing my abdomen, relaxing my pelvis, and relaxing my base. And a lot of us hold our sphincter muscles, if you believe. Yes, I do name all your different body parts when I teach, because we love every part of our body. So just check right now whether you're holding down there. If you are, just take in a deep breath there and relax and soften. Right, softening, that's the last part. It's about really letting go of control, letting go of any contractions that you're not even aware of, and just really falling deeper into yourself. That's what I mean by soften, and falling open. So that's ground, breathe, relax, and soften. Have you noticed any energy shift in me? A lot of us who are energy sensitive, have you noticed these things? Does my voice sound a little different now? I'm not exactly sure. You can be the judge. So that's one thing I want to highlight. A lot of the times it's not what we do, but how we do it. Like, have you had that experience when a friend or your partner or even a professional coach or someone at work, they have the best intentions, they're telling you what's best for you to address right now, but a lot of the times we're not even aware of it. They may have that tone of judgment or criticism, and that's when our body actually subconsciously we're pushing against that. So next time, if you like to offer someone advice, maybe it's good to go through these 4 steps: ground, breathe, relax, and soften. So you can come from your aware of your full body. You come from that loving vibe, and then people are more open to receive your wisdom or advice. So what I'm passionate about is to show everyone that meditation can be simple. It can be fluid. It's really loving and can be even playful. Because a lot of us who have probably done conventional or traditional meditation, and that's quite stern and serious. That's how I started. I've done 10-day silent meditation retreats where we had to sit and meditate for about 14 hours a day, and it's all that doing it hard. And in some ways that it was good back then to start a new discipline, but for me, having meditated for 21 years, it's much more important for me to integrate this way of being mindful and being present into my daily life. And the best way to do that is to make it easy, make it inviting for myself. So people ask me, how often should they meditate and for how long? To me, I just think, even if you can do it for 2-3 minutes a day, fantastic. And also, if you don't have time for sitting meditation, then just do what I was showing you, these 4 preparation steps: to ground, to breathe, to relax, and soften before you go into a business meeting or before you start cooking dinner. Any activity that you can be present in at the start of it, I'm sure you would enjoy it a little more. So I'm just saying hello to Simone, Scott, and Tiffany and Mark. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, so today I also want to share with you, why do I meditate? What's so good about meditation? So 21 years ago, I was a really stressed out management consultant. I ended up doing this personal development course, and part of the course was to start with meditation. We were taught transcendental meditation, TM. And back then, for me, I wanted to meditate for stress management and also as an emotional intelligence tool. Because on this course, it was so adorable and embarrassing at the time. There were quite a few times when I was asked how I was feeling, and I would start to give a really considered response. And the teacher would say, well, that's all about what you're thinking right now, but how do you feel in your body? I was thinking, wow, I had no idea that I was so disassociated from my body that I didn't know what I was feeling. It was quite a shock to me. So that was a pretty important reason for me to continue practicing meditation, to really have that body-mind integration or connection that I didn't have back then. And as time went on, one of the main things that I've been fascinated by is how we connect to our intuition. How can we feel the presence of our higher self or inner being or the Holy Spirit or Source, however you want to name that greater part of ourselves. I was really fascinated by how each of us do it as well. we all have such different ways to, I was going to say to connect, but to say that we're connecting is not entirely true, because our higher self is actually always present with us. It's just about when we tune in to feel the presence of it. So that's another powerful reason for me to continue meditating, being present in my body. And also my passion in the last 10 years has been about how I embrace and integrate negative emotions. For some of you, you're aware of the teachings of Esther Hicks, and I really like her idea that whenever we're not feeling good, if we're feeling fearful or there's any anxiety on a particular subject, for instance, about money, her idea is that we're feeling the negative emotion because we're looking at that subject, the subject of money, for instance, from a perspective that's different to what our inner being, our higher self would see that view. That was really helpful as an idea that I came across about 10 years ago. And then I realized most of us mistook that idea to say that when we are feeling negative emotions, that our higher self is not with us. And that really, that was a point that I just thought that could not be. I've always been passionate about freedom. And for me to truly feel that freedom, I need to know that no matter how I'm feeling in the moment, I also want to feel the presence of my higher self. So I started practicing. Everything is about, it's like any exercise or any sport that we do. Most of us are not great at it right from the get-go, right? So after practicing, I got better at it. For instance, right now, actually, I wouldn't mind showing you a really simple idea of how we can be aware of two things at the same time. Okay, let's do a fun little exercise. I didn't know we were going to do this, but hey, let's go with it. So that's first of all, before we do anything, that's ground. So feel where your weight is supported. That's breathing deeply into our base. And relax and soften into this moment together. Okay, from this place of greater openness, let's pay attention to our right foot. So if it helps you, you can breathe into your right foot. Just keep bringing your awareness back into your right foot. So wherever you are, if you feel, if there's sounds around you that's distracting, you simply say, every sound I hear brings me back to my right foot. Any thoughts that may be distracting, you do the same thing. Every thought I have brings me back to my right foot. I bet you've never heard that before. I haven't. Okay, so just keep bringing your awareness back to your right foot. Notice what sensations you can feel apart from the weight that's supported there. I can feel a little bit of tingling. I think the tip of my toes are a little cold. Yeah, just really be present in your right foot. Okay, next, I'm going to invite you to pay attention to your left hand. So we'll do the same thing. Just really breathing into our left hand right now. I feel a little itch on my nose right now. I'll say, every itch brings me back to my left hand. What are you noticing right now? I can hear the humming of my fridge. So every sound I hear brings me back to my left hand. So I can really feel my left hand tingling now. And my ring finger and middle finger, the tip of those fingers are a little cold. So I'm really present in my left hand. Okay, next, this is the fun part. I would like you to pay attention to both your right foot and your left hand. So simultaneously, pay attention to your right foot and your left hand. Remember, there's no trying. Let's approach it as an even lazy, casual exercise. Let's not strive or try to do it perfectly. Just let it be casual and easy. Are you okay paying attention to both your right foot and your left hand? What do you notice? Right now, as soon as I pay attention to both of them, I can feel the connection between them, through my arm, through my torso, all the way down my right leg to my right foot. That doesn't need to be your experience. It's just what I'm noticing right now. So you're probably sitting there wondering, why are we doing this? So I just wanted to show you, for instance, if you're feeling really anxious about walking into a particular meeting, that's in the pit of your stomach, you have a knot. That could be your right foot. And at the same time, you can ask to feel the presence of your higher self, which can be symbolized by our left hand in this simple exercise. So for me, I have my particular way that I've really fine-tuned over the last 21 years, how I feel the presence of my higher self. I feel it in terms of goosebumps, tingling, or even mild orgasmic sensations in my body. I'm not sure whether you noticed, by the way, there's my little friend back there, the little geese that a friend gave me to remind me of how I sense and feel the presence of my higher self through my goosebumps. All right, where was I? So I really want you to have an experience that we can simultaneously feel our negative emotions, but at the same time, feel the presence of our higher self. They don't need to be mutually exclusive, because in my inner guidance coaching, I've come across almost every single person thinks or believes that when you're feeling bad, your inner being, your higher self, is nowhere to be seen, which is kind of ridiculous to me these days. It's really in those moments when you feel challenged that you want to feel the presence of your greater self, right? So these are all the reasons why. It's one of the most powerful reasons why I love practicing mindfulness in meditation. Let me say hello to Lee and Alicia for joining me as well. By the way, feel free to ask me any questions. Let this be a two-way street. Simone mentioned about loving the 4 steps already. That's wonderful. I really hope, Simone, that's something you can remember and just play with for the rest of the day and see how you go with it. And thank you, Lee, for your support. You go too. Okay, so yeah, those are the main reasons why these days I meditate, and also to there are two others that I want to cover as well. This is kind of going on for quite a while now. That's okay. I've got all the time in the in the world right now because I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about. Another reason I meditate is that I love feeling the flow of creativity within me. I didn't realize 21 years ago that I'm a very visual person. So when I meditate, I at the end of a meditation sit, I think about things I want to focus on. I generally receive actually. My higher self gives me images, and I really love those. And when I'm feeling what I'm feeling in my body when I get these images are those sensations I want. To say, if I want to achieve something or experience something in my meditation, at the end of my meditation sit, I would usually have a little time to focus on the feeling states I want to tune into. And that's the best time when I get all these images. Sometimes it will even crack me up. Yeah, it's as if I'm laughing at the ridiculous images, because sometimes they could be really funny, like cartoon images doing ridiculous things. And I just love that lightness and playful ease of it all. When I'm fully present, the creativity just flows. And another reason that I love being present is that I can live more fully. I can appreciate the simple pleasures in life. Because before I started meditating, as I mentioned earlier, I was totally disassociated from my body. So everything came from my head. And I literally didn't have time to stop and smell the roses, you know. I'm not sure whether any of you has had any experience fasting. I started fasting. Sorry, this sounds like a slightly different subject, but in '99 I did a vision quest with an American, a Native American elder back in Sydney, and for 3 days and 3 nights, part of the vision quest was we had to sit out in the bush by yourself and fast. We had nothing but enough water for us to live on. And so ever since then, I've practiced fasting. All these great benefits for you. It's such a great way to cleanse your body of any toxins. And by the end of a fast, I usually feel so light and free. That's like on day 3. It's usually my favorite. So you're probably wondering what's that got to do with meditation. So when I break my fast, I usually do a little ritual to thank myself for giving myself that time to really be within myself and cleanse. And then when I start eating again, I'm very mindful of all the textures and first of all, the aromas, and then the taste in my mouth. And it could be the last fast I had was probably 2 months ago. I broke my fast with eating a banana first. Oh my God, even just the flavors of that particular banana, it felt like the most incredible delicacy I could have ever asked for in life. And I would be present. It's almost like when I'm in that place of being fully present, I don't really need to focus on appreciating. Appreciation just rises out of me, flowing forth. I remember feeling so thankful for all the people involved, the farmers and the distribution people and every person along the way that's had something to do with bringing this banana in my hand. Sometimes it could be really overwhelming. feeling overwhelming in the most beautiful way to feel that connection to this piece of fruit in my hand and then in my mouth. I remember I was getting images of like looking up into the blue sky, the white clouds and the sunshine. It's as if I was tapping into the consciousness of this banana, that plant. That's how I want to experience every moment of my life, whether it's talking with you right now or going boogie boarding in the ocean. I just want to truly be present in all my sensory, with all my senses. And that way, sometimes a lot of us think we need to have millions of dollars, need to have all these different most advanced gadgets and things to really live a life fully. That could be true. That could be a happy consequence once you're tuning to who you are and flowing with it. But really for me, I want to feel that intense pleasure of being in this physical body. That is what I love about meditation. All these skills of being present that we can practice in meditation. Okay, I didn't think I would share that with you today. Okay, so just to wrap up this live video, as some of you know, there are three main types of meditation depending on our focus. So we can focus on one thing or everything or nothing. So these are the three main types. When you focus on one thing, these are called focused attention meditation, for those of you who love technical jargons. And a second type is called, when we focus on everything, that's called open monitoring meditation. So you're just really paying attention to all your sensory input. And the third type is the most challenging. No, I'm only kidding. That's when you focus on nothing. And there's a really fancy name for it. It's called Effortless presence meditation. And they're just fancy words for take a nap. So if you've done a yoga class, I'm sure at the end of a yoga class, you will just take a nap. That's when you were doing what? Effortless presence meditation. And that's a favorite of mine, of course. So coming back to the two main types of sitting meditation then, when you focus on one thing or you focus on everything, these two types of meditations you can also do with your eyes closed. That's what most people do. And you can also do them with eyes open. So these form the four main types of sitting meditation that I'll be guiding you through in this upcoming four-class online series that I'm calling Meditate to Live Fully. So each class will focus on one of these. It starts on this Saturday, February 24th. For the first class, we'll be looking at focusing on one thing with your eyes closed, the focused attention meditation. And then the following Saturday, on March 3rd, we'll be doing focused attention meditation. Yes, that's focusing on one thing still, with your eyes open. And then we'll have a break for a week when I'll be going to Paris. Right? And then the following week, which is Saturday, March the 17th, we'll be going through the open monitoring meditation when we focus on all our sensory inputs with our eyes closed. And lastly, for Saturday, March 24th, we'll be doing the open monitoring meditation when we just monitor all our sensory input with our eyes open. So those are the four classes that are coming up that I'm really excited to share with you. You know, the reason why I'm really excited to do this, it's almost like regardless of whoever joins me at all, it's really for myself because I will be guiding you through meditation in the way that I wish I could have been taught all those years ago. Like all these, yeah, the easy way, that the way I want to show you how simple it can be, how fluid it can be, that it's loving and it can be even playful. All these things were in stark contrast to how I learned it, the rigid, like traditional way of pushing through your pain and all that stuff. It's really adorable looking back how that's what most of us believed, that we had to learn something new. That's why I'm really excited to share with you. There's a different way of looking at this. So we really focus on the vibration when we're practicing this. What is the state of being that we are in? Are we relaxed? Are we open when we are learning something new, when we're paying attention? So that's yeah, pretty much what I would like to cover today. So I guess the idea of this whole 4-class series, that is, I really want to empower you to feel confident about being present, being there for yourself. You know, a lot of people talk about, there are all these words that are really nice sounding notions, like really be there for yourself. I'll be there for you, and love yourself. So to me, my training is engineering, so I'm really pragmatic. I always wonder what people meant by that. So how do you do that? How can you be there for yourself if you're trapped in your head only without connecting to your body? How can you truly be there listening to someone if you're just constantly in your head, if you want to support someone, and without feeling that ground and feeling that presence within yourself? Like, so these are all the, yeah, I guess I've covered many, many reasons why I love meditating and why I love sharing it with you. And of course, what I see is these 4 preparation steps of to ground, breathe, relax, and soften, and then pay attention, being open. These are things that, these are the foundational skills that we bring into every moment of our life, everything that we do in our life. I guess I could be repeating myself here, but I hope you get the gist of who I am, how I feel about meditation, and how you might get a glimpse of how you can apply that in your daily life. So before I finish today, let me look at any other things that I'm going to say hello to Julia for joining us, and Michael. Hi, Michael, for joining us. Yeah, and Lee shares, it just leaves me feeling good. That's why she meditates. That's wonderful. It feels so good to cover all this. So thank you for joining me today. And yeah, I don't know what you'll be doing next, but maybe just take a few seconds, 30 seconds, to just go through ground, breathe, relax, and soften. I wish you a day of wonder. Take care.